Hello everybody, my name is Janet. My co-host is inside because it's incredibly hot out here, but he does wish he was out here, and I have worm poop. Okay, so in another one of my videos I talked about how I've been really into gardening and planting and plants and everything lately. So I was wanting to do a video, especially since I have quite the plant collection right now. Don't mind my shirt, I have a hole in it. This is gonna be my official gardening shirt. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys some of the plants that I got. I got 3 today. I'm going to put some worm castings in some of these plants. These are still fairly new, so I don't want to repot them just yet. I have been holding off on watering this Dieffenbachia. I'm still trying to remember all the names of the plants. But I was holding off on watering that because I did want to get some worm castings. And these are organic worm castings, and it's supposed to be really good for your plants. I've been doing a lot of research on like plants and stuff and like what would be the best and what wouldn't, and I kind of settled on worm castings, and I found that there's a couple other different more organic ways you can also like fertilize your plants. I really don't want to use like chemicals. The worm castings are supposed to be good for everything, and plus since I have a dog and I have Joe and everything, I really don't want to be using that much. So I have worm castings and I have just my regular potting soil, and I'm gonna mix that with some worm castings. Might not be right, it might be right, I don't know. I'm just starting off. So this is what it is. Basically, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can use it with your soil when you're first planting your plant, or you can just add it to a plant that you already have and use it also like on top, kind of a mulch, or dig in a little deeper and kind of drop that straight down into the pot. So I've never really used this. They say it's not supposed to really stink. I'm gonna work on this right now. So I have all of these inside except the ones that I'm propagating. This one that I brought out, I was actually propagating, but there's just enough roots on it, and I got a plant from Goodwill, or I got a planter from Goodwill. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant it in that. It's just a ceramic pot. And for most of my plants, when I do repot them at some point, I want to use the terracotta pots because I am a new plant person and they're supposed to be really forgiving. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like. I don't even know what really this is supposed to look like in person. So it's basically worm castings, which is basically just worm poop. Well, it doesn't smell like anything. It literally just smells like dirt. So that's what it looks like. They're just tiny, tiny, tiny little dots, really. All right, so this Dieffenbachia, also known as dumb cane, was actually my first plant. And she is so pretty. I don't know if you can see it. She's about, I want to say like 3 feet tall. I don't know, not really good with measurements. But yeah, so I was thinking about, it's really hard to see. It's kind of heavy. So I was thinking about propagating, which I'm really into right now. So as you can see, this has this stem and this stem here. And I was thinking about propagating them because I do want to get this to kind of just grow straight. And these two seem to have a good amount of leaves yet. So yeah, I'm kind of wanting it to just grow straight for the most part. But I think I'm gonna give it some time. So I got this off of Amazon because I was actually worried about if I was watering or not watering my plants enough. So this is a moisture meter. It's so cute. It was like $7 on Amazon. So you basically just stick this in the dirt at a couple different spots, and it will tell you if it's dry or if it's moist. I've read a lot. Okay, right now it's dry, but I've done a lot of research, and they were saying that I actually like to dry out in between waterings. Which is good because even though I have it and I have it sitting right in front of my TV, when I first got it, I'd be like, oh shoot, I need to water it, and I would completely forget. So I'm gonna do that. I repotted this as soon as I got it. Like the same day that I got it, I got a pot, I came home, took it out, and popped it right in the pot. But the more research that I also did, I heard that it's really not that great for the plants to repot them as soon as you get them. Because sometimes the roots are not developed enough. So yeah, with the worm castings, they're supposed to be really good at helping the plant not get any like pests and stuff like that. I don't even split the bag. It's supposed to be really good with not getting pests and stuff. And you know, some plants do get like spider mites and stuff like that, and I really don't want that to be the case. But all right, so with the worm castings, so what I've heard, let me see if I can get you guys up. From what I gather, you can put these worm castings in at any point in time, really. What I'm gonna do is I have this little stick here, a little bit. So I'm basically just taking this little stick, sticking it in, and just making little circular motions. And I have a spoon here, which, you know, we won't be using to eat with anymore. So I'm just gonna drop that right in. I don't think there's like a certain amount really that you have to put. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. This is like my first time really doing anything like this. You know, planting. I just recently got into planting. All right, so I did that there. I'll probably just do like 4. I'm trying to get in there as deep as I can. Ugh. I feel bad because like if there's roots there or something, I don't want to destroy them. Yeah, they were saying with like regular fertilizers and stuff, it can, by the time that you put it in and then you water it, since you know you have it, sometimes it either doesn't filter all the way down or it filters so far down that it's like either you fry it or you don't. You know, something of that sort. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's just what I've done so far. So yeah, so this is a Dieffenbachia. Excuse me if I'm saying this word wrong and name wrong, but it's actually also known as a dumb cane. And every time I watch a video, I always say, oh, people say the same story, but I'm gonna say it too. So basically, it's called a dumb cane because back in the day, this plant is actually poisonous, so you have to be careful like around dogs and stuff like that. And I'm not really too worried about it. Joe never messes with anything. He's usually pretty good. It's called dumb cane because back in the day, if people didn't want you telling a secret or something like that, or you were in trouble or whatever, they would cut it open and put it in their mouth, and it would end up closing their throats. And they couldn't really talk, so they would just mumble, and they would be like, oh, that guy is just stupid, don't mind him. So yeah, so that's what that's known for. So I don't know if you can see this, but she's kind of leaning a little bit. She's got a little gangster in here, guys. All right, so don't really want to bend the leaves too much. So I'm just gonna do another hole here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Gonna do another hole. I'm trying to get down as deep as I can and put some more in here. So yeah, so this is my Dieffenbachia. This is gonna take a while, guys, so I'm just gonna go in with my hands. You can always wipe your hands. Alright, so you can also use this, I guess, like as a mulch, especially like when you use the regular soil and stuff, the perlites and everything that they have in it. The more you water it, those will rise and will actually end up coming up, and then you get like this kind of color soil. So you get like these little white beads and stuff, and green beads, and those are just like to help with moisture, and they're slow release fertilizer and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna kind of mix that in a little bit. It doesn't have to be that opaque. So I'm just gonna kind of do that. See, this is a slow release fertilizer, and this is what also I was worried about. I don't know if you can see, it's just a little green dot. But they were saying that, like, especially when you get a plant from like a big box store or a nursery or whatever, you don't really know when the last time that they fertilized that plant, or how long it's been sitting in that pot with the slow release fertilizer. So if you do fertilize it too soon, you can also fry the edges of the plant or fry the plant in general. So with the worm casting, since I'm kind of new at it and I kind of want to keep it organic for the most part, especially with Joe, with the worm castings, nothing will happen if you fertilize it too soon or not too soon. So what I'm gonna do, because right now they say it's growing season for plants, although this has been growing since I got it. So yeah, so this has been growing since I got it. So I don't know how often I'm gonna fertilize it. I'll just play it by ear. So I have the worm castings on there and I have some water. Here we go. I don't know how much water this is. It's probably like, and I'm just going to really saturate it. Make sure I get all the way around, all the way around. And I'm going to let that come out. This does have a drainage hole in it, so it's going to take a little while for it to get all the way through, but it will get all the way through. And I'm just going to go ahead and try to pat this a little bit, and maybe this will help it keep it from wiggling. So she seemed to have soaked all the way through. I put quite a bit of water. I'm gonna put the rest of this in, and yeah, just let this kind of drain out, and then I will go back. And I won't water her again until she dries completely out. She's so heavy. Okay, so I'm going to add this to all of my plants. I have a string of pearls. So this one is so cute, and it's actually grown quite a bit since I got it. It was super tiny. It had just a couple little tendrils, but they have been growing. This will eventually just cascade all the way over, and I'm hoping that for the most part, I try to like sweep them over. I try to sweep them over this way. So she needs a good water. They seem to, I want them to kind of come over this way because I want to get a little plant and I want to put it hopefully up against the wall, and then all these tendrils go down. So she probably needs a really good watering. I've been holding off on her too because she is a succulent, so I am worried about her getting root rot. All right, so let's see. These like to be dried all the way out too. So she is she's about a 1. So she's pretty dry, and I'm gonna use this little thing. I should have used this instead of the other one, but this I'm gonna be super careful with because the roots are super sensitive still because it's just a little baby. So I'm going to add some of that worm casting in there. I probably won't put too much in here because I don't want to. I don't want to move the pearls around and everything, so I'm just gonna try to get in a little bit wherever I can get in, and just try to feel around the most I can. So this is like more on the succulent side of the spectrum, so I'm just hoping that I can get her to survive. I got her about a week ago too, maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm just trying to keep her alive. I hear that it's like super hard to keep them alive. All right, so I'm just gonna sprinkle this over the top, and they will have it when they need it. Let's go a little bit over here. I don't think that I'm going to be repotting this anytime soon. Because these like to stay in their nursery pots for a long time. So if anything, I will get a little cover pot for it. I'll get like a little cover pot for it. So this is what she's looking like so far, so good. I'll do a little plant update whenever I feel like doing one, whenever I feel like there's. Okay, I just had my hands in one poop and I just scratched my face. Not a good idea. So yeah, I'll do an update on these. There's some of them that are going to come over. You see like this little one, this little guy, he's going to drape over eventually. He's just not long enough just yet, but he will get there. But she's definitely grown since I got her. And all this here, these little stems here, although they look like you know, dead stems or whatever. It's actually new growth. So if you ever do get a chain of pearls, don't cut that off. That's actually where more pearls are gonna grow in. So I put the little worm castings in here. It's a little darker. I think it actually makes the plant look a lot nicer because it looks like really dark, rich soil. And yeah, so I have her, I have her in this little thing. I have her sitting on this, and there's actually a little bit of water in there. So when I water her, I don't want her sitting in water, and sometimes it takes a while for it to get all the way through. This is just a whiskey tumbler. I couldn't find anything else, but I put it in here so that I could see through it. I can see if there's any new roots coming through, but there's not right now. So I'm just gonna give her a good watering. And I'm gonna sit her in here for a little while, and then before I go in, I will dump out whatever water is in here, because I don't want her to have that, you know, water just sitting there. Joe is so upset he can't come out here. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure that none of these pearls are stuck in the cup, because if they are, that's not good. All right, so I'm gonna get her nice and wet. I'm gonna let that soak all the way through. All the water will go through it. I don't know if you can see. It's just kind of coming through. It's falling through. So yeah, so I kind of use that rule of thumb. I'll soak her, a little bit will come out. I'll soak her again, and you know, dump all the extra water out. Okay. So since I couldn't get a string of cards, I got this, and I'm not gonna water her because I just got her today. So it is called a Hoya Carry, and it's a variegated version of it. Oops. It is a single heart, and that's how it'll grow. I have to do a little more research on this. The lady says that it's a vining plant, but the Hoya that I wanted to get was not variegated, and that one was not a vining plant, which is weird. So I don't know if because it's variegated, which means they actually altered the color of this. The original one is just all this color, but they altered it so that it has like a little outline of yellow, and it kind of just accentuates the heart shape. So I think I'm just gonna leave her like this. She seems to be doing pretty good. I don't know how rooted her roots are. I don't know if they're good, if they're bad. I'm going to put some worm castings just right on top of it. I also want to get alfalfa root, I think it's called, which is to promote growth. So I'm thinking about getting it. I'm not sure yet. I got these worm castings from the nursery that I go to, which is called Amelia's Smarty Plants. So like Smarty Plants, but Smarty Plants, right? All right, so I just put some worm castings right on top of her. She seems to be all right. We'll see how she does, and I'll take a picture of her. I'll do like a little before and after. Maybe I'll check back in like a month or so with all of my plants to show you. But isn't this the cutest little thing? It's so adorable. All right, so that's a Hoya. That one was $25 when I went to go get it. This one is really pretty. I kind of wanted the original one, but the variegated one is super cute too. All right, so this is, I know this is the peperonia petiolata, paralleli, I don't know. I call it the pepperoni plant. It's super small, super tiny, super cute. This will probably take a while before it gets any kind of roots, because right now usually you can tell if it needs to be repotted. The soil will actually come up, it'll move a little bit more, you should be able to pull it right out, but this one is still pretty stuck in there. It's really tiny. She's got a couple little leaves coming in under there. I don't know if they just put those there and hoping it would sprout, but it looks like they cut one here. It was probably growing in really bad. So actually we'll just cut that a little lower. All right. So yeah, so this one is at a, let's see, It's between a 3 and a 4, so it's pretty moist. So what you also want to do with this is kind of stick it in a couple spots. So like when I put it here, it's closer to a 4 or 5. So I'm not going to water this. I'm just going to add some worm castings on here, and yeah, so she'll be okay. And yeah, so when I look at the plants, I try to find some really good ones. They're not going to be perfect. So see, this one's got a little hole in it, and this one's got a little hole in it, but they're not going to be perfect. And yeah, so it just looks a little better. You know, you don't see the bark, you don't see this slow release fertilizer, which I will just use the worm castings from now on, and alfalfa meal, that's what it's called. And alfalfa meal if I really want them to grow, but they seem to be thriving on their own. They don't seem to be needing anything extra. They seem to be fine. So unless I see that there's like a really big problem or something like that, will I do any kind of like chemicals or anything like that? But they seem to be really good. It's really cute. I love the leaf on here. Like some of the variegation on these leaves, like they almost look fake. It's like the craziest thing. So this is a peperomia cutiolata. This one, so cute, so tiny. I got this one. This one is called an Aglaonema Maria. So also Emerald Beauty. See, I love how they do their tags. Like they put like the official name on it, and then they put like what it's known by. So this one has a lot of new growth coming in. So I'm really glad that I got the worm castings. As you can see, I don't know if this one will survive. He's a little yellow, but it's got a lot of new leaves coming in. There's one. If this one comes all the way through, which I don't think it will because it's a little yellow. You got 2, you got 1 coming in right here, 3, another one right here, 4. So this is gonna open up really pretty. I can already tell. Here's like a big one that's gonna come through. And the variegation on this is so pretty too. You see? How cute. So this one is really wet too. It must have been like raining there a little bit before we got there. Yeah, she's like past the 10 on the wet. So I won't water her probably for a little while. I do try to do my research as much as I can. Oh, you can tell that they propagated this one because you can see the little stem where they probably cut his little brother. So yeah, you can tell that they propagated this one, which is fine because it is coming through beautifully. So I'm just gonna put some worm castings on here. And I really like the thought of worm castings. You know, they're organic. I don't have to worry about it. It, you know, helps them fight off any kind of diseases. So you can tell this one is just opening up because it's a little bit lighter of a color. And the same with my Dieffenbachia. When the leaf first opens, it's a little yellow. So if you first get one and you see that the leaf opens up yellow, don't worry. That's how it opens up. It'll get a little greener. Emerald Beauty. So there she is. She's beautiful. This is another peperomia, but it's kind of like the sister of peperomias. So this is also known as a Chinese money plant. And I got this one a little bit bigger. I saw them when they were really little, but I wanted to get this one a little bit bigger. These really reach for the light. So I just got this last Friday and I kind of kept it in one spot. So say this is the window, I had it like this. So they all kind of started gleaming. And then I was like, oh shoot, I remember these you have to rotate. So I rotated it this way. And as you can see, they started kind of leaning this way. So these you definitely want to rotate almost every day if you can, because these lean fast. So these have a lot of little baby pepperonis coming in. They're so cute. Can you see them in there? They're cute. So yeah, I got this one. No plant is perfect. See, this one's a little bruised probably from the car ride. But yeah, so it's got a little bumps, a little scratches or whatever, but you can tell that it's healthy overall by the new growth. It's shiny, it's thick, it's nice and bouncy. So this one I have really, really high hopes for. I think his YouTube is That Plant Dude, but he had one and it was like perfectly round. It was so cute. These do tend to cascade too if you want to. It's just about like pruning and cutting them just at the right time, you know, the right way to get it to cascade over. His is really, really nice. So this one also has a slow release fertilizer. So, oh, my hands are gross. So I'm just gonna add some worm castings on top of here. I want them to really look even too, as far as like the color and stuff. So, I don't know when the next time I'm going to water. It's really not that good to water a lot. And I thought maybe that's why my Dieffenbachia was starting to lean, but I did more research and they're like, okay, well, it could be because of a cold draft. It could be because it's leaning more towards the window. And it's just kind of like a trial and error type thing. You know, if your plant dies, don't be like so sad and depressed, because that's how I thought I was going to be. Because of course you don't want to kill something, obviously. You want it to thrive and be great and amazing. But if you do, you know, you can learn from your mistakes, and when you get your next one, it'll look better. So this is the Peperomia Pilea. Pilea peperomia, Chinese plant. And I love it because of its shape and like how bouncy it is, and it's just so cute. So this one I watered not too long ago, and this one I think I'm gonna always try to keep it on the low end. I'm gonna let it kind of dry out all the way through before it's going again. So it's about an 8 out of 10 for the moisture meter. So I'll leave this like this. He's all set. Okay, so I got this one today too. It's a Dracaena Godsefi, so a Florida beauty, and she is just that. She is beautiful. I love the color of these leaves. They're amazing, and there's tons of new growth there. So if you can see this little thing here, I don't know if you can see it, but that will become a big, huge leaf like this. So yeah, so she seems to be pretty good. I don't think she needs any water. Oh my God. I made honey garlic tenders and I just burped, and that's all I tasted. Yeah, so she's thriving. She seems to be doing good. She's got new growth. She's got 3 leaves here, but like I said, nothing is perfect. She's got a little bit of burn there. She probably just got too much sunlight, and the sun didn't rotate fast enough. Oh my God. Didn't rotate fast enough, or whatever the case may be, but I just added worm castings. I'm not gonna water her. I'm gonna leave her here. So a lot of these I got just recently. So I got English ivy. Oh, I got English ivy. I was thinking of propagating this, and I'm not really too good at propagating it, I don't think. I like the idea of propagating, but I don't think I've got it down packed just yet. So this is an English ivy. I got this one from Lowe's, and this is really healthy too. It's got a lot of new growth all over, and I definitely want her to grow down more. She definitely has grown quite a bit. So there's really no way for me to put in too many worm castings in here. I'm going to try, because I don't want to disturb it too much. So this is in the original nursery pot as well. I definitely learned a lot as far as wanting to transplant them, and it's not the best for the plants. You know, some people keep their plants in the nursery pots for up to a year sometimes, if not more, because some plants are fast growers, some plants only grow during growing season. And I know you probably don't like it, the way that it looks when you first get it, because it's in this plastic pot, and I really don't like that they're in plastic pots, but you know, they're the most economical, especially for like bigger stores. I'm just like filling this in the gap. I'm just like lifting her hair and just putting it in as far as I can. So, oh yeah, so you don't want to repot it right away. They say, like, all around, almost every person that I watch, they all say the same thing. Don't repot it right away unless it's literally busting from the seams. So I repotted my Dieffenbachia. It's the same day that I got it. And I've watched a lot of YouTube channels and like videos and stuff, and they all say to leave this one in its nursery pot for as long as possible. I didn't look into it. I just put it in this really pretty terracotta pot and called it a day, and I guess I'm lucky that it didn't die. I can't really, I'll get a little bit here in the middle, so it doesn't have a little bald patch. So yeah, so let's see what Miriam says. So she is a little dry, a little bit. She's on a 10, she's about 3. So I'll just give her a little drink of water. These like to be dry for the most part, and I want to see how it goes. You know, these might all be dead in a week, which I hope they're not. I really hope so. Ooh, she must not wanted that much water because she's spitting it out. All right, I'll clean this up later. I'll leave her out of this so she's got anything else to take out. She can do that. I'll put this here. All right, so the next one that I have is this snake plant, also known as, what do they call it? It's called a snake plant, or a mother-in-law's tongue, which I hate that name, but it is a Sansevieria. This was, I think, the second plant that I got, and I just have to also be more mindful when I'm like taking care of them and like wiping them down and giving them a real look over, you know, stuff like that. So these really like to be dry. These are like one of the hardest ones to kill, they say. She is at the 3 out of 10, so she's still in the dry section, so I'm not gonna water her yet. I'm just gonna give her some worm castings. They say this is one of the hardest ones to kill. So, plus I really like that it's like straight up like that. I love that it just shoots up. Some people say this gets up to like 5 feet tall. I don't know if I see it getting that big. This one in the Sansevieria, they put a lot of bark in it because they like to be dried out, and especially if they're like at a nursery, if they have somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing and they overwater it, the bark is there to protect it as much as possible. But they say that these are really good overall, that if you water, as long as you have the right soil, if you water it too much, it'll be fine. If you don't water it enough, you'll be fine. There's like people who say they went out of town or went on a business trip that ended up being like, you know, 3 weeks long, and they came back and their Sansevieria had grown. So I guess we can look at it that way. Actually, I'm gonna give her a little bit of water, just to hopefully these worm castings can kind of get down in there. I'll take these bugs out. All right, so I'll give her a little bit of water. So hopefully she doesn't spit that out too much. She'll be all right. A little sip of water. All right, so she's got really good drainage in here anyway, so even if I shouldn't have watered it yet and I watered it, she's got really good drainage in here. She's got the worm casting. She's got everything that she needs to thrive in here. So she didn't need that much water, so I don't know if you can tell, but a little bit is coming out. That's a snake plant. Look at those pretty leaves. All right, so this is a Calathea rattlesnake. I like this one a lot. It is insane. Can you see that? And then the underside of it is this deep, like plum, maroon, purple, red kind of color. It's just gorgeous. Like, look at that. And then you get it. So, and then you get it from this angle and it's like a completely different plant. And it's just gorgeous. Like, that color is perfect. See where she's at. She's moist, she's doing good. I don't need to water her. I'll just put some worm castings on it. All the other ones that didn't need to be watered, you can see I just put it right on top. Because when I do water it, since some of these like to be fairly dry, when I do water it, it will soak it through, because drier plants, from what I understand, I could be wrong, I watch a lot of YouTube, that's where I'm getting most of my information. From what I understand, drier plants don't need as much fertilizer. So when you do fertilize it and you water it, the fertilizer goes straight down. But since she's still a little moist, it will get some of it. It'll just take a little longer, but she should be fine. I also let this one, I want to let this one, I think I've only watered it once since I got it. And even then it was probably too soon because it was raining when we went to the nursery. It was like damp and humid and stuff. So I definitely just want to make sure that I let her dry all the way out before I water her again. So the only thing that I'm worried about so far with most of my plants that I'm getting, like they seem pretty healthy, you know, they don't tear or snap when you turn them, you know, they're okay. They all seem pretty healthy. It's just that we keep our house cooler because we have like this 10-foot window and it gets hot. It gets like really hot. From the window. We don't have any curtains up or anything. He don't like, well, he doesn't like curtains. He just likes being able to see straight outside. So we don't have any curtains or anything, so it does get pretty hot. We run hot anyways. So I just worry where I keep some of them that they will go into shock a little bit. I'm new at this. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more learning. I'm definitely going to have trial and error. I'm learning how to garden and plant and everything. So right now that is all I have for you guys. It looks like it's going to start raining. I have worm poop all over me. So yeah, so that is it for my plants. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed the video. I'm really into planting right now. So yeah, those are all my plants. I'll catch you guys on the next one, guys. Bye.